can chat with me and ask whatever you want, right? So for those who are joining first time, this will be a series of the principles of marketing, starting from, what is marketing, how do you do marketing, what are the concepts, what are the principles, what are the marketing mix, how do you analyze your target segments, and things like all that is what we are going to use. uh, if you are a student who is studying marketing, the advantage is that you can study this as a qualification. If you're studying it for a qualification, I will say that these things which I'm teaching to you will help you to learn something called CIM, the Chartered Institute of Marketing, or you can learn IPAC Business School, which we teach. It's a French business school. You can get a certification, a qualification itself, if you would like to actually get this documented. So while this is going on, I'm just going to share my screen from where I started last time. This is a very important thing which we had. This is the basics of where marketing starts. The basics of where marketing starts, right? Please be free enough, guys, to disturb me whenever you want to disturb me, to ask any questions or anything like that. So the principles of marketing refers to something called the basics of marketing. I may disturb you guys here and there anytime, just to make make myself comfortable that I'm inside a class and I can ask questions and things like that, right? So the basics of marketing is where we understand how to probably evaluate marketing when we look at the best examples already out there, the best examples, right? Now whenever you want to compare yourself with someone, some say it's good to compare, some say it's bad to compare, right? That's a different story. If you usually compare yourself, you usually want to compare yourself with someone who is better than you. Okay, if there is Kenya or Zimbabwe or Afghanistan's cricket team, Afghanistan's cricket team doesn't compare themselves with Kenya, or Kenya doesn't compare themselves with another country which is just new in cricket. They will try to compare themselves with some of the biggest in the region, right? That is why even if you have any of the cola brands been introduced in the world, they always try to copy little bit of stuff regarding Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola. They just try to copy little bit of stuff, because Coca-Cola is the highest. Coca-Cola is the highest. Coca-Cola is the benchmark in marketing. Whatever it comes, we cannot disassociate ourselves saying that Coca-Cola is not good or not doing well, but Coca-Cola is kind of the benchmark. Coca-Cola has so much of advantages which a student can study when the student is doing marketing. I always tell my students, whenever you study a principle of marketing and whenever you write an answer, you always have to back it up with an example. You always have to back it up with an example. When you back it up with an example, make sure to know that always examples from Coca-Cola will always work. Whenever you say that Coca-Cola has done this, whenever you say that Coca-Cola has done that, kind of it's a very convincing thing actually to share and say that Coca-Cola has practiced this somewhere. So let me give you a couple of examples in this slide. Okay, if you look at Diet Coke, why Diet Coke comes? Because Coca-Cola has got a lot of sugar. Because Coca-Cola has got a lot of sugar. Can my viewers who are joining here today just type and tell me in the comment section, how much of sugar do you think this Coca-Cola bottle has? The one in number 3. How much sugar in terms of teaspoons do you think Coca-Cola has here? Or you can answer it on the mic. Anything you wish. Anyone? 16? Yep. 16 is actually, Roshan, 40. Fazlun, 40 is for 440 grams. Okay. Grams wise, I'm not sure. I'll tell you the amount of this. This bottle is, Roshan, how much did you say?
I said 16.
1.6, right?
Yeah.
Viraj, how much do you think is there in this bottle? It has the same sugar as the normal Coke has. Yeah. This is the normal Coke, Viraj, right? This is the normal amount. I just want to see how much. Fazna, how much do you think? How many teaspoons of sugar is there in this? There is close to about there is close to about 8 teaspoons in a 180 milliliter Coke bottle. A 180 milliliter Coke bottle is a one glass, one tumbler, one small glass of water which you will drink. Like at one glass you will drink. If you need another one, you take another glass. That one glass is 8 teaspoons. This Coke can has got 16 teaspoons because a Coke can is about 300 milliliters. This is the amount of sugar content there. Now Coca-Cola saw that people have got to know the amount of sugar. Why people have got to know the amount of sugar is because the governments in various countries are telling people to advertise what is the amount of sugar in your drink. So you can't hide it, you got to tell it. So when people evaluated and saw, they saw that it's bad to use Coke. Because it's bad to use Coke, what did Coke do? They introduced Diet Coke. We are only familiar with a few drinks in our region here in Sri Lanka. In some other regions it's much more. I would like to say that Coke has its diet version, Fanta has its diet Fanta, Pepsi has its diet Pepsi, Mirinda has its diet Mirinda, 7 Up has its diet 7 Up, and Sprite has its diet Sprite. All those are there, right? That is about Coca-Cola. Then we have their main competitor and all the other sub brands which you can see here, like Mountain Dew is part of Pepsi, Dr. Pepper is part of Coke. These are the main two drinks which are actually running the whole world. There is very few brands in the world which you can say that they are in 200 countries without any problem. There is very few brands. Only Coke and Pepsi are in that caliber, right? You can't take McDonald's, or you can't take HSBC, or you can't take any other multinational which is as far more great in every country. If you take HSBC, they are in about, let's say, 120, 130. Very good, but not as to the level of, if someone asks you a general knowledge question that name two brands which are there in every part of the world, in every country there will be a Coke spot where you can buy. It's going to be Pepsi and Coca-Cola. The reason is because their marketing is something what we compare to be, the highest marketing of whatever they have. Now this has been valued at 70 billion US dollars. 70 billion US dollars is pretty big, not million, billion. This 70 billion US dollars is actually compared to the productivity of a South American country called Bolivia, Kenya, and Bahrain all together. Altogether, can you just believe it? How many people are actually living in Bolivia? How many people are living in Kenya? And how many people are living in Bahrain? All together, you calculate and see the total output of everyone: small, medium, old, male, female, doctors, lawyers, all the output you see. Even together, Coca-Cola is larger. Number one, even Coca-Cola's output is larger than a large, dense country like Bangladesh. Okay, so this is how that particular thing is. Coca-Cola in guys, avoid drawing on the screen. It's a bit disturbing, right? Okay, Coca-Cola launched itself in 1886. Remember this year in 1886, and they had just 9 bottles, and they were just in the beginning to actually launch themselves like that. Later, they are selling in billions and billions at the moment because they have changed drastically. They are basically, I think, doing a lot of innovations with regarding to what they have to go on with, things like that. So some of the basic things which we've discussed in the last class in Coke, I've sent you my video on the first class. It's on YouTube. If you can just go through it. Coca-Cola was born here, and can you see this last line which says it was born in a drugstore? Because doctors used to prescribe this as medicine for people who had headaches and stomach pains. So that's why they had only a few sales of what we say is a medicated drink, what they can have here. Later what happens is, slowly they understood that people are not going to come for you whenever they don't have headaches. I hope you get what I mean. To drink a Coke, you need to have a headache or a stomach pain. So how many people are having headaches and stomach pains per month, per week? That's like quite few. Now they need to find a reason actually to sell you more. They need a reason to sell you us more. This is how the marketing guy finds a reason for you to buy something. You have to give a reason. If you give a reason and that reason strikes you, you will actually buy. The reason should strike you really well. The reason should strike you really to your heart, and to understand that how this basically is going to apply, to yourself. So whenever you are advertising a product in your college, in your office, in your assignments, in your own business, make sure that you don't make the advertisement from your point of view. You make the advertisements from the consumer point of view. Don't think that what you're going to say is what the consumer wants. You make the ad and go and show it to a consumer. Go and show it to someone and ask, what's your honest opinion? Do you like this? When you show that you like this, they will actually say that, I think you got to change this, I think you got to change that, I think your coloring is actually wrong, I don't like that color much, things like that. They will have some kind of an opinion, I would say, which would actually tell students whatever they want, tell the seller whatever they want to do. That is the exact problem which happened with a brand like Lifebuoy. Can someone comment, those who know the brand Lifebuoy, the soap, can someone comment who was the first consumer of Lifebuoy? Who used Lifebuoy? Can you comment or can you tell it in a mic? Who was the first consumer of Lifebuoy? This person or this thing was even shown inside advertisements. This is what you have to use Lifebuoy for.
Animals.
Animals, yes, correct. It was animals. And in animals, which animal did they show it in the advertisement?
Horse. Donkey.
No, they showed a dog. Yes, they showed a dog. And what dog? You won't believe. What type of dog?
Golden Retriever, right?
Alsatian
I
dog.
think so.
Alsatian
Oh,
dog.
okay.
Okay. Guys, after you answer, do mute your mics. Okay, thanks. Alsatian dogs. Can you believe that the first Lifebuoy advertisement ad was targeted at washing your dog, and in washing your dog, they showed only an Alsatian dog. So houses which had Alsatian dogs used to think that, okay, so this soap I'm going to wash my dog. Those houses who did not have Alsatian dogs, they didn't know what soap to use, because why? The advertisement is showing Alsatian dogs. So only houses which had Alsatian dogs were buying Lifebuoy, and those are the people who actually got profits because of those people buying. Then what happens is, the company who presented Lifebuoy soap thought, can we make someone else to use the soap and stop animals using the soap? So they had a pause. They had a pause and they stopped telling people to use Lifebuoy. They took it out of the market. They took it out of the market. They had a small gap. So people, when they go to buy Lifebuoy, they see that it's not there. It's not there. And then they buy something else and they go and wash the dog and things like that. Now it's blank. People have forgotten why they used this for. After some time, they said that Lifebuoy is a male-oriented soap. That's where you will see a guy going and bathing, with his Lifebuoy in the shower and, looking all fresh and all those stuff. See how the transformation change was there. From that transformation change, what happens is, today, now Lifebuoy is a family soap. First the dog used it, later the man used it, now the entire family is using it. Did anything change in the soap? Nothing changed. The quality or the content of the soap never changed. It's the same soap we are using. The dog used it, the man used it, now the entire family is using it. Not only the family is using it to bathe, we are washing our hands 5 times a day and all this stuff. A side rule in marketing is, later what we will study in, if this is the second lecture, maybe what we should study in the 7th or in the 9th or in the 10th lecture, something called penetration. Something called penetration. I will teach you how to use marketing stuff to make consumers use more and more and more and more. Now, when you sell a soap, you want him to use this soap fast. If you tell him that, can you wash your hands many times? He's not going to listen. He's not going to listen. But if you take Kumar Sangakkara, the Sri Lankan cricket captain, and you keep some models, and you keep some nice music, and you keep some people showing that they are washing their hands like this, how many times a day? Kumar Sangakkara says to wash your hands how many times a day in the Lifebuoy ads? Anyone? Anyone? How many times a day? It's 5 times a day. 5 times a day. If you buy the liquid soap and keep it near your kitchen or in your washroom, and you try to wash your hands 5 times a day, and in your house there are 6 people, by mom, dad, 2 kids, grandparents, 6 people, your soap should finish in 4 days. Okay, that's the way of how a lot of people are now practicing marketing when you look into that. So Coca-Cola started its bottling plant in 1891. Others, please have a notebook and a pen also. Whenever I tell something to write down, I will be giving some questions. They have the first bottling agreement in 1899. In 1909, the first bottling plant, and 1930 they went globally. And after 1930 they went globally. They also in 1960 have introduced so many branches, whatever they, so many brands as it is. We will look into some of these. Some of the interesting facts of Coke, if you would like to actually understand and share, is that Coca-Cola was, as I told you, given for headaches and tummy pains. If Coca-Cola would be green, if coloring weren't added to it, it's another fact of Coke. Coke first only got $50 because it sold only 9 gallons of Coke. Later, about 1.8 billion is sold each day. This is about 2 billion as at now. In 2 billion profits, in 2 billion, right? 2 billion people are drinking Coke. While I talk to you now, there is some hundreds and thousands of people actually drinking Coke. If Coca-Cola is keeping 10 rupees a bottle, just see what's the price of Coke's revenue a day, not a month, a day. Coca-Cola is the most recognized word after the word okay. Coca-Cola is the most recognized word after the word okay. Coca-Cola was first green. Coca-Cola is called Coca-Cola because of the original ingredients used in medicine. It's called cocoa leaves and cola seeds. Coca-Cola is the most recognized trademark, recognized by 94% of the world's population. As you know, if there is someone who can't read and write, we call this in Sinhala Saksharatavya, or if not, literacy. Literacy is if I need to read and write. Now, when I go in the road, if I see the Moratuwa Pitakotua bus, if I can read Moratuwa and Pitakotua and understand that this bus is between Moratuwa and Pitakotua, I can get in and go in that bus. Now, for those who can't read, at least they should be able to identify numbers. That's why the buses have numbers, 100, 154, 155, etc. I can't read, but at least I know the numbers. Because I know the numbers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, because I know the numbers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically get in the bus. If you take a group like this, who can't read or write, and overall they say that 94% can understand the word Coke. Can you believe it? Someone who can't read, someone who can't write, when he sees the Coca-Cola logo, he can understand that this is Coke. In a competition, who can drink the most Coke in one go? One drank 8 bottles of Coke and died on the spot. Coca-Cola means to make the mouth happy in Chinese. And in Hong Kong, some people are still serving Coca-Cola as hot. Now, in all whatever I've discussed, this is one of the most important slides we've discussed. I'm not going to go in detail. I want you to go through my first lecture. It's already on YouTube. I'll forward it to you if you've not watched. The facts of how do the brands actually go. Anyone knows what's the organization who classifies these brands? We discussed last week. Who is the organization who classifies this brand? Can we have Viraj? Remember the brand we discussed? It's called what? Fortune. What? Fortune 500. Fortune 500 is a company. Fortune 500 is a company which actually classifies these brands according to their performance. In my study in the last 30 years of understanding where Coke is, Coke you can see is in rank 14. Coke used to be in rank 1. How many years? 30 years. Before 30 years, they couldn't get any statistics. So it's about 20 years, 30 years only we have data, right? 30 years, the Coca-Cola brand was number 1. Now it's 14. You know, where is Pepsi, which is at 98? Pepsi was in its 20s or 30s, somewhere here. See how it has gone down, and see how the other brands have come up. Notably, note that anyone who is doing an e-commerce platform is heading really well. If you have a business which is in e-commerce platform, or you are supporting a business on e-commerce, or you are planning to do an e-commerce platform business, I would say it's a great thing, because we are looking at e-commerce businesses now. For an example, you can see Netflix here. For an example, you can see Uber here. For an example, you can see LinkedIn here. Can you believe that Uber and LinkedIn and eBay and Instagram are far more better than Ford, Honda, Pepsi, and Adidas. Can you see? Right. So Airbnb is not in this list because this list is 2 years old. They usually take some time to actually update it. I think if I take the new list for 2020 or 2021, Coca-Cola should come a little down. Airbnb will enter this. Pepsi might get kicked off. I think YouTube, Netflix, PayPal, these brands will actually come kind of a bit forward. Google and Apple will be very competitive at number 1 and number 2. That's currently unshakable. Facebook will stay where it is. Microsoft will stay where it is. Other brands are standardly going to be wherever it is. So Coca-Cola's Pepsi has now, started to sell healthier drinks for their consumers. Why? Because consumers are boycotting Coke. They are not drinking Coke anymore. They are rejecting Coke. So they are looking at, working together, like the screenshots which I'm showing you from various news items I've taken, to work together. This is one example to tell you that sometimes in your career, in working at a place, you might know that brands who compete with each other will work together. So some assignments we give to students to understand that logic. Why do two competitors join hands together? Can you ever believe Mobitel and Dialog working together? Can you ever believe McDonald's and KFC working together? Can you believe HSBC and Standard Chartered working together? There are a little bit of room for that. Okay, we are not going to discuss about that now, but there is some component for that. When you study and analyze this subject later, you will understand that, see, hey, we can also do this like this. We can do this like that, So later, when the time comes, we will actually discuss and see things like that. This is how Pepsi and Coke are joining hands to actually eliminate climate change. And this is the design of Coke bottles. We are currently using this bottle. A lot of people said that though this bottle is the old, my students said that they like this design. I don't know, right? Coca-Cola also says that, they have a new product development. We call it in short for marketing, NPD, new product development, that they have launched an alcoholic drink. They have launched an alcoholic drink, and it's called Lemon Dew. Okay, it's called Lemon Dew, which I believe is something actually going to be changing their brand status. When they introduce an alcoholic brand, sometimes their status will go high, sometimes the status will go down. We don't know, but nevertheless, it depends. If you are looking at understanding how brands work, depending on what consumers do. So this is basically the thing which I told you about, how Coca-Cola is even larger than the GDP of Bangladesh. Can you believe it? Right? And Coca-Cola has all these types of brands. Whatever you are seeing here is basically there. If you see for an example, Coca-Cola can be rejected because they don't have fruit drinks. They introduced you fruit drinks. You can reject it because they don't have soda. They gave you soda. You can reject it because they don't have water. Well, they gave you water, so that even if you drink water, you got to drink your brand in terms of that. Can someone name me what is Coca-Cola's Sri Lankan brand which had a fruit flavored thing? Anyone? In Sri Lanka?
Minute Maid.
Minute Maid. Very good. And is Minute Maid there now?
No.
No. Can when you're analyzing these brands, please go and check what happened to Minute Maid. Minute Maid has been withdrawn. I don't know how many of you all remember the Minute Maid brand. Very good, very tasty. Still, sugar content was high. But the most amazing thing is for Coca-Cola to launch something natural. Like the orange one had the orange pulp. You know the orange pulp? When you juice the orange, that pieces fall. In the Minute Maid orange, that pieces is also put. Then Minute Maid thought, hey, orange is doing well. Shall we launch mango? And they put some mango pieces and also made the mango drink very thick, very nice. Mango also was launched. After that, they launched mixed fruit, they launched apple, and they launched one more thing. 5 they had. They had 5. After that, all of the 5 was taken. I try to get some facts in it, but I couldn't. If you can find out and let us know why did they stop, because the brand was doing really, really well. This particular slide, the numbers can be wrong. I believe the number should be double than this. 1,50,900 is, I took it on the web, but I don't think Coca-Cola has 1.5 lakhs. Coca-Cola has to have at least about 3 lakhs people working for them. It's that basically big. So we come to something called the marketing mix. Marketing mix we will be studying in the 7th or in the 9th or 10th class. It's called the 4Ps: product, price, place, promotion. Anyone asks you, what should I change in this offering? Say, follow the 4Ps. Your uncle asks you, how can we start that restaurant? Uncle, we have to look into the 4Ps. Your brother asks, I want some advice to launch something online. What should I do? Hey, look into the 4Ps. I have a concept. I want to look into this. What should I do? Look into the 4Ps. Just that's it. 4Ps: product, price, place, promotion. The product is the drink itself, the content in the drink, the shape of the drink, the weight of the drink. Can you see all the Cokes are not the same? Some are small, some are big, some are in glass, some are in cans, some are in plastic, some are in see-through, some are in, this is the product. Give the product offering like that. Next, the pricing. Make sure that you price it properly. So the main thing which we are talking about Coke and Pepsi is something called competitive pricing. Competitive pricing. This more we are going to study later actually. Why do you actually not have a price advantage? Then where do you have a price advantage? See, if you are going to get a connection from Dialog and Mobitel, almost their prices are the same, because TRC, what's TRC? Telecommunication Regulation Commission in Sri Lanka has said, Dialog, you can't charge lot for this, or you can't charge less for this. Mobitel, you can't charge lot for this, you can't charge less for this. You have to charge almost the same price. Okay, what do you think is the price difference between Selinco Insurance and Janashakti? Almost the same. So how do they compete? You have to find a way of how to compete, right? Coke and Pepsi, the can prices or the drink prices are almost the same. Segmenting in product, price, place, promotion. To who do you offer? They usually give it to young generation. Promotion is to use, actors, models, things like that. Pepsi has at the moment used more than 500 to 1,000 odd celebrities in the world. There is no brand in the world who has spent so much on celebrities. I repeat, there is no brand in the world which has spent so much for celebrities. Coke has tried to do that and Coke has failed in doing it. Coke is not known for using celebrities, but Coke wants to copy Pepsi in doing celebrities. Pepsi has a very good respect, reputation, image when they use celebrities. So what I'm trying to say is that, if Pepsi does an advertisement with Kumar Sangakkara, they have not done, but if they do, that will work better than Coca-Cola working with Sangakkara, and that they have done. As you know, Coca-Cola has worked with Sangha. Coca-Cola has worked with Mahela. Coca-Cola has worked with Bhati and Santosh. All four were even in one ad. This all four in one ad versus one ad of only Malinga with Pepsi will do better, because Malinga has promoted Pepsi. Another person is Sanat. Sanat, as the Master Blaster campaign, has promoted Pepsi. That one campaign of Pepsi does better. That is nothing because of anything else. But for the last 50 years, Pepsi has regularly been taking a nail, a physical nail, and hit on our head and said, if you are a celebrity oriented person, you have to know that you have to drink Pepsi. The last 50 years, they've been hitting our head and telling that. Michael Jackson drinks Pepsi. Ronaldo drinks Pepsi. Amir Khan drinks Pepsi. Shah Rukh Khan drinks Pepsi. I mean, when you say Michael Jackson drinks Pepsi, that's like the end of it. Because of Michael Jackson, how many people are going to drink Pepsi? If you today see who is the number one social media follower in the world, it's Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo, right? If you take him for a Pepsi, that's it. People will love it, and that's what people actually do. So this is something which actually gets involved into it, right? Starting off with this, marketing fundamentals happens through various eras, and we discussed this last week, that it starts with the production era, where people try to produce what they can, not what others want. People produce what they can, not what others want. So we look at the example of Ford vehicles. Henry Ford. Ford vehicles is one of the first people who manufactured vehicles, and he made a very stupid statement, but the statement is highly discussed as a marketing principle. Any customer can have any color car painted as long as that color is black. You can tell that you want a yellow car, but I won't sell that to you. I only have black vehicles. Now, usually when a customer comes and asks you, I want this, and if I don't have, what do I say? Can you come tomorrow? I will get it for you. That's marketing, no? Right? I have seen some shops, they do like that. Some shops, they don't have something, and the customer comes and asks them, they will tell the customer, wait, I will get you, and someone runs to the other shop, comes and gives this to him. Likewise, you have to understand that any customer will come and ask me any color of car, but I'm going to sell as long as it's black, because I only have black vehicles. So this was kind of like an outdated concept in the 1960s, 1930s. I mean, come on. One person will come and ask you, I want a sports car and I want it red. Are you going to say that you can't give, you can't give that? No, you have to actually give it. So that era later changed into 1920s, 1950s, called the sales era. So the sales era, I use this picture to show you an igloo house of an Eskimo. As you know, in North Pole, it's super cold there, and people live in these houses to actually survive. People hardly are knowing about brands here. People are living here with hardly a mobile, entertainment, TV, anything like that. You don't need it. You're just isolated here. Only thing which people get used to eat here is eat fish. So they will fry the fish and they will eat. Do they have to do any job to earn here? No, because there is nothing here. You know, life is like normal. You know, just because you have a car, you know, it's nothing prestigious. You can't drive the car anywhere you want. You don't need to keep in touch with anyone. You don't need to get news about anywhere. But people are actually living here, you know, in this part of it. Networks get jammed and things like that. So that's how the North Pole works. Climate is like minus 60, minus 70, like that, and people are living here. Now, why am I talking about is that in a minus 60, minus 70 environment, how will you feel if someone is going to sell refrigerators to an Eskimo or an AC to an Eskimo? Is it practical? It's not practical. It's not practical to sell a refrigerator or an AC to an Eskimo. But what if someone has the talent to do that? That is marketing. That is what happens in the sales era, which is actually bad. Which is actually bad. We call this forceful selling. What is forceful selling? Whether you want or not, I don't care. I am going to sell you this particular brand. I am going to sell you this particular product. What happens after you buy? You don't actually want to go and you know, meet this person again, because he sold you something by force and that didn't work. And for the first time, we see that marketing era is being used. So in fundamentals of marketing, we learn the marketing era, where we see that the customer either did not desire brand, okay, and the customer needs were identified and satisfied. This last line is very important. Customer needs were identified. Can you see whether I have used anything about customer here? Read this silently. Can you see whether I have used anything about customer? No. Go back to this. Can you see anything on customer? No. Can you see anything on customer here? Where customer needs were identified and satisfied is being given here. There you go. It's been given here, right? So if I compare and see all these in a chart, what is the production era? Focuses on efficiency of internal operations. If I can manufacture one design more, that is good for me. Henry Ford told that. I will manufacture a car called a T series small car, which is black. You want a sports car? Sorry, I won't make one for you. It's too costly. You want yellow? A yellow car? I can't paint yellow for you. It's too costly. I'm going to only do it in black. That's all. If you like, buy. If you don't want, you can go. But what happens in the sales era is that they focused on aggressive selling. I call this aggressive selling. I call this forceful selling. And I call this the type of selling which happens in, you know, in PETA, in Pitagotua, right? When you go in, anyone who has gone to PETA, they can raise their hands. We have people also out of Sri Lanka who is joining here. If you basically understand that you go to a market and you look at someone, he comes and by force comes and gives you the product, you didn't want oranges, you were just looking at oranges, and that fellow puts all in the bag and comes and gives you. Or you look at a shirt and this fellow says, you want this shirt here. That happens in markets. That's forceful selling. Do I want the shirt? No. Did you ask, do I want the shirt? No. Did I see whether I look beautiful in this shirt? No. You're just coming and selling it to me. That's called the sales era. That one time back happened. One time back, something like that actually happened. Market is to understand customer satisfying needs and wants. And finally, we have social responsibility, to understand how to be socially responsible. Today's lecture is going to be on this, and we are going to understand how do you actually be socially responsible. So can you open your books and write these headings? Sorry. Keep the book. I will come into that section. We just have a little more to go on this. This is what we call the scope of marketing. It's just some areas where marketing can be done. Product planning, branding, pricing, all this stuff. And marketing, I always say, it doesn't belong only to selling. It's for a service. Doctors need to know marketing. Okay, doctors need to know marketing. Say, lawyers need to know marketing. Politicians need to know marketing. Who else? I'll tell you what. Even beggars need to know marketing. Even beggars need to know marketing. Can you guys tell me what are the tricks and traps psychologically a beggar uses to convince himself to give you money to him? What are the tricks and traps the beggar convinces you to give him money? He comes and asks, you quickly give him 10 rupees. If he's a genuine beggar, that's okay, and you want to give, that's okay. But there are some people who go out of the way to convince you. They push you, they convince you. What are the methods they've done? Sharmila, sympathy and empathy is good enough. Can you tell me an example that this is marketing they are doing like this? What they are doing is marketing. They don't know that it's marketing, but it's a marketing trade what they're actually doing there. How do you convince? Guys, you're basically when the toy manufacturer is making toy, the toy manufacturer makes the toy in red or orange for the child to get convinced, and the manufacturer makes it in plastic or rubber so that the parents will be safe to buy it. So this is a convincing part which is going. If you make your toy in a ugly color, the kid is not going to love it and the parent is not going to buy. So it's a convincing game. Convincing is part of it. Convincing. My question is, how does the beggar convince someone to give him money? Is marketing. It's one of the highest marketing traits. I'm asking you, exactly tell me what are the methods they do. Shoot, guys, you can chat in my chat box. You can take the mic and tell me. Mentally, I understand, Rushdi, mentally, but how? Tell me exactly how.
They really do, like, they are like disabled and they don't have legs, they don't have hands, they don't have eyes, and they have diseases like kidney and such like that.
Okay. Kind of good. I will develop on that. Emotion. I like. Okay. Right. I want an answer like this. This is fantastic. Right. Roshan and Fazna, you are 100% correct. That's the marketing gimmick there. You're 100% correct. Can everyone see the chat box where Roshan says emotional attacks? Example, coming with a crying baby. And Fazna says that they are using children. That's one marketing gimmick. Guys, anyone who wants to beg actually can keep their kid in a shade and beg. But why does that person goes out of the way to keep the baby with them, go out in the hot sun, in the traffic lights, come and stay at that moment there and convince you to give money, is a way of creating an empathy and kind of making your heart to melt to give money. This can be true by some people, this can be false by some people. I am not talking about that. Someone might be true, someone might be false. I am talking about using a tool to enter the minds of the consumer is very important. Using a tool to enter the minds of the consumer is very important. Have you ever seen beggars when you go and give him a new dress to dress? Have you seen a beggar wearing the new dress and begging in the road? No. The moment you give him a new shirt, go to Hamidia's, try this, try this. You know these guys who do social experiments having a camera? Get a crew and have 4 or 5 cameras and try to do this. I request you and try to do this. Do tag me in your videos if you can. Go to Hamidia's, buy a nice shirt, take a nice video, a nice vlog, go in the road, find a beggar, tell the beggar that we don't have money, but we like to give you this shirt. Can you see it's a very new shirt, a Hamidia shirt? Tell the beggar to wear this and give, and you go like that. You go like that, but just hide and see whether he's wearing the shirt. How long will he wear that shirt? He will just put on the shirt and throw that away. The moment he wears clean clothes, people will not be convinced that he's a beggar. Therefore, people won't give him money. People are not going to give him money, right? Why do people beg at the crossing, at the color lights? Because there is some amount of gap where they can actually come and talk to you. Isn't this the same concept we used to put hoardings? Where is it the place where marketing hoardings are expensive? Color lights. Why? In the color light you will stop. In that color light for 10 seconds you will look at the road. Because of you stopping near a color light and you looking at an advertisement, the price of the hoarding, you know what's a hoarding, right? The billboard, the price of a billboard is super expensive than putting the billboard somewhere else. This is what marketing tells you. What the beggar tells you, that if this is the place where cars are coming, I'm going to come there and I'm going to beg there. Okay. Another one more question for us to proceed. Guys, avoid writing on the screen, please. Okay, right, I'll delete it. Done. Okay, fellows, tell me where in your city, okay, in your city or in your town or in your country, tell me where is the place where money is stored? Where is the place where money is stored? Everyone? Where is money stored? Viraj?
In banks, in
Okay,
safes.
yeah, in banks. That's the idea. If logically guys, money is supposed to be kept in banks and banks have lot of money, why don't you see lot of beggars near the bank? You won't see lot of beggars near the bank. If you see lot of beggars near the bank, those are the beggars who don't know marketing. Instead of going to the bank, where do the beggars go and stay a lot? Tell me.
Near churches,
Near church, near temple, near a kovil, near a mosque. Is money there near the kovil? Not really as much as the bank. Where is the money kept? A lot, in millions and in billions in the bank. But why is that beggar not coming there? He knows the person who comes to the bank is not generous. He's not. This is marketing. The person who comes to the bank is not generous. The person who comes to the mosque is generous. Not only that. Not only that. The beggar knows. The beggar knows that the same person who comes to the bank is not generous, and he knows that the same person who comes to the mosque is generous, or the temple is generous. Same person, not different people. Not different people. Example me. I am having 100,000. 100,000, of something I'm going to deposit in the bank. This 100,000, I'm just carrying it in a shopping bag like this, and I'm having it in a hand. I'm very scared this money will fall, someone will rob or someone will hammer me and take. When I come to the bank, I don't have time to take my purse and give 100 or 20 rupee or 50 rupee to a beggar there. When I come to the bank, my worry is, please go inside the bank and deposit this. I come to the bank, I don't talk and wait. I just go inside the bank. That's it. The same me going to a mosque, when I see the beggar, because I am going to talk with God, what will I do? I'm going to ask God to pass me from my exams. What will I do? I will go to the beggar, give him 20 rupees and only go and talk to God. Isn't this our human nature? This is our human nature. Who knows this human nature? The beggar who is there, he knows this human nature, and it works. Okay, that's enough for that here. We are going ahead with understanding from the scope of marketing versus other departments. This is a basic idea for you to understand that marketing inside a department works with a lot of things, and they have to actually work with other departments like finance, engineering, purchasing, production, and all these people. And you will understand that all these departments have some limitations. Now if you look at the engineering person has standard and functional things, but the marketing guys has customized and sales oriented things. Engineer looks at making the whole car as one model for everyone, but the marketing guy says no, different people will come and ask different things, so you have to customize it, custom make it rather. Purchasing versus marketing. Purchasing guy is concerned about the price of the material, and the marketing guy is concerned about the quality of the material. Why is it that the shirts of Hamidia's kind of are good? Because the quality is good. One fine day, the purchasing manager thinks he's going to do low quality material that will affect the marketing function as well. What about production? Production and engineering almost the same, right? So the way you make the orders. What about finance and marketing? Finance is a group which is strict on spending. Within a company, if there are two enemies, that's how I call it. Within a company, if there are two enemies, there will be two enemies between marketing and say, finance department, because it's so hard to actually go through this as it is. Marketing wants to cut your expense, you want to spend. Finance wants to cut your expense, you want to spend. Finance wants to tell you don't advertise, you want to advertise. Finance tells don't spend for your staff, marketing says my staff need to you need to spend like this. Finance is trying to cut your commission and salaries, marketing says no, give salaries and commission for my marketing people. Finance people says don't give tabs for your staff, marketing says my sales people are going out of office, they need tabs. This argument happens in every company, and it's going, this is a practical problem what we have. Now we come into the definition of marketing. I need everyone to memorize this step by step. We are going to take at least about 10-15 minutes to go slowly, guys, and my class will be over in the next 30-35 minutes. Not 30-35 minutes, about another 45 minutes I should be done, right? This is the harder way to learn it. Everyone has to memorize this. Please don't go ahead of this without memorizing this. Marketing is the management process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably by the Chartered Institute of Marketing. This is the definition given by the world's highest body of marketing. That's basically that. Now I need you to come with me slowly. Okay, guys, silently put this in your head. We need you to memorize this. I can't do a certain exercise I do in class. I take time, I teach this, and I ask students to close their books. I erase my whiteboard, I stop my slides, and I ask every person to actually tell this by heart. Too bad I can't ask it now because it's in the screen. Even if I take it in the screen, sometimes you can write it and tell. So maybe it won't work properly. But I'm trying to do my best actually to make this lively here. This part is super important. This makes the basics of marketing strong. So put it in your head that marketing is a managerial process. Marketing is a managerial process. Okay, silently, guys, concentrate on this. I'm trying to make you memorize the definition of marketing. It's pretty small. It will take me just 5 minutes. Just put it into your head. Marketing is a managerial process. What's a managerial process? You got to manage a lot of things. Got to manage the customer, got to manage the price, got to manage that. Suddenly COVID-19 comes and my sales goes off. I have to manage that. It is about managing things. How do I manage myself? How do I manage my time? How do I manage my studies? How do I manage my work? Whenever we go to a restaurant, we are not happy with the restaurant. What do we say? I want to speak to the manager here, please. Because the manager is managing this place. Managing is a big process. We'll look into what is the components of management later. But for now, put it into your head. Marketing is a managerial process. Please tell that silently in your mind. Marketing is a managerial process. 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 What it manages, we will tell you. What it manages, we are going to discuss. What it manages, we are going to discuss. Okay, what it manages, we'll discuss. Everyone put it in your head. Marketing is a managerial process. If you don't mind, can you take a pen and a paper, write it step by step. Now see how this definition looks. Oh shit, like, you know, oh, what do I do here? Manage, how do I learn this? This is like really big, right? By the next 5-10 minutes, I'm doing my best to memorize this, please. So try to cooperate with me. We will, you know, do the needful with regarding to this. So take a pen and a paper and write the same way how the slides are going. Marketing is a managerial process. Quickly take a pen and a paper and write that down. Quickly take a pen and a paper and write it down. Okay. When you tell it to me, you have to say that marketing is a managerial process or a management process. Both words are correct. Marketing is a managerial process or a management process which has 3 activities. It identifies. Now it builds. Come on with me. Say it with me. Put it into your head. By the time we leave this class, we have to understand the definition of marketing. Marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities. Marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities. Marketing is a managerial or marketing is a management process which has 3 activities. Activity number 1 is to identify, anticipate. Marketing is a managerial process which identifies and anticipates. Marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities, which are identifying, anticipating, and going on like that. What? Satisfying. Third one. Marketing is a managerial process which identifies, anticipates, satisfies. We are going to later break this into examples. Marketing is a managerial process which identifies, anticipates, satisfies. Marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities: identifying, anticipating, satisfying. Any way you want. Marketing is a managerial process which identifies, anticipates, satisfies, or marketing is a management process which identifies, anticipates, satisfies, or marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities, that is to identify, to anticipate, to satisfy. To identify, to anticipate, to satisfy. Okay. Customer wants and needs. So let's go again one step behind. Marketing is a managerial process to identify. Identify what? Marketing is a managerial process to identify and anticipate what? Marketing is a managerial process which identifies, anticipates, and satisfies what? Customer wants and needs. Customer wants and needs for a profit. And we add a few things there. For a profit, better than competitors. Better than competitors. Now the one more if you like to add, in a socially acceptable way. A managerial process which identifies, anticipates, satisfies customer wants and needs for a profit better than competitors in a socially acceptable way. Marketing is a management process which has how many activities? 3 activities. It's about identifying, anticipating, satisfying customer wants and needs for a profit better than competitors in a socially acceptable way. I'll give you 2 minutes. Quickly write this down in your book. The way it is, the way I have put. See, if you write like this, how do you teach this? How do you teach this? Even when I was studying it, actually my lecturer didn't teach it like that, but I was like, oh, this is like too big. But later I thought, wait a minute, this is the steps, right? Let's logically think. Marketing has to identify something. It has to anticipate. It has to satisfy customer wants and needs. Then better than competitors in a socially acceptable way. Take 2 minutes of time to read this. I mean to put it, and in your mobile phone there is 3 dots. When you go to the 3 dots, you can raise your hands. So you raise your hands and you tell me that you've done. If not, in your laptop or computer, whatever you're going on with, in the area which there is the participants. Wow, Shanali, that was super fast. You can go and raise your hands and also to join in there. Anyone done? Quickly raise your hands. Okay, half of the class is done. Let's look into streamlining more stuff on this. Right. This part is now to understand how does marketing become, like a managerial process, a management process. Okay. How does it become a management process? By the way, do you know who this guy is? Kotler. Kotler. Kotler is the person in my poster, which you saw the poster where I circulated it on Insta stories and on Facebook. Philip Kotler, he is about 85, 90 years old. He is considered to be the father of marketing, and he's still living, which means marketing as these principles which he founded, which he came, is not old. It's not 200, 300 years old. If you take economics was maybe like 250 years old, but this person is still living. These concepts are new. My dear students, in the next half an hour, 15 minutes, we are going to break this. We are going to break this into it. So can we basically go back and actually see our students using their mics telling me the definition of marketing? Okay, let's start with Rushdi, Imran, like that. Let's go on. Can you tell me the definition? Be honest with you. Don't look at whatever you wrote by memory. Can you try to tell? If you don't get it by memory, then look at the book. It's okay. Rushdi, are you in? Who has the iPhone? Yeah, go on.
Can I?
Please do it. Go ahead.
Marketing is a managerial process which identify, anticipate, satisfy customer needs and wants for a better profit than the competitors in a socially acceptable manner.
Right. Very good. Shane Rukshan, can we have you? Imran Hussain, Sanjana, be ready for your turn.
Could I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Marketing is a managerial process which have 3 activities: identify, anticipate, satisfy customer needs and wants for a profit than competitors in a social
Acceptable way.
way.
Right.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
Acceptable way.
Very good.
Okay.
Fazur Rahman, can we have you telling the definition of marketing? Shane, Rukshan, Sanjana?
Can I say it?
Yes, please go ahead.
Marketing is a management process with three parts: identifying, anticipating, satisfying wants and needs of consumer profits better than competitors in socially better way.
Okay, cool. Cool. Very good. Naushad? Sharmila, Naushad? Yes, Roshan, go ahead.
Yes, sir. The marketing is a management process which identify, anticipates, and satisfy customer needs and wants in a profit manner better than the customer competitors in a social acceptable way.
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but I think you can polish it. A little bit here and there, but I think you can polish it, right? Okay, anyone who has this students registered by the name of iPhone. I have 4 people who are as iPhone here. Who are you guys, right? Okay, can you all like tell me the definition of marketing? Anyone else? Viraj, can we hear it from you?
Marketing is a management process which identifies, anticipates, satisfies customer needs and wants for a better profit in a socially acceptable way.
Very good. iPhone, can you go ahead?
Marketing is a process which is managerial in a 3 ways: activities, identifies, anticipates, and satisfies, which is customer needs and wants, make a profit better than competitive for social for acceptable way.
Okay, right. It's here and there. It's here and there, but we have to polish it further, right? Okay. Another one more. Anyone? Okay, go ahead.
Marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities: identify, anticipate, and satisfy.
Okay.
So wants and needs for profit.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Again, just build on some of the words here and there. In English, if you are using the present tense of ing form, we say it no at the end. I am dancing, singing. You know, if you use for one ing, use ing for everything. Okay, it's about identifying, anticipating, satisfying consumer wants and needs. If you are just saying, say, identifies, anticipates, satisfies, even that way is correct, right? Very good. Okay, right? Usually I close the book and I ask everyone to do it, right? I hope you all were very genuinely telling me, so we have to go on with this. Let's look at other definitions of marketing. These are all different definitions which I'm showing you in the screen. Various people have given various definitions, but the most simple definition is what I gave you. Marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities: identifying, anticipating, satisfying consumer wants and needs. Okay, consumer wants and needs for a profit. If you're going to do it for a loss, useless. Anyone can do it for a loss. Anyone can buy this phone for 1 lakh and sell it for 80,000. Anyone can do it. That's nothing. That's not marketing. Buying this for 1 lakh, putting a small advertisement, putting something and selling this for 1.5 lakh is the trick. That's called marketing. If you are doing something at a loss, it's not marketing. It's nothing exciting. There is no glamour at all. If you are doing something which is with a profit, that has some kind of a weightage. Now we are going to fix this problem, management process. So in the next 15 minutes, we are going to learn the word management process, management process, management process. Why did we say this? Marketing is a managerial process. Why did we say this? Marketing is a management process. Why did we say it? Because it's part of management. Because it is part of management. Can you see? Management is all about planning. When you plan, you have to organize. When you organize, you look into the people. When you have the people, you direct who should do, and then finally you control. Again, Planning is about you planning. Let's say we are going to have a wedding. How do you plan? We are going to go on a trip. How do you plan? You're going to go on a journey. What's your plan? You're going overseas on a nice trip. How do you plan? How do you pack your baggages? How many days? You're going to think, right? For how many days am I going to do this? Right? You're going out in the morning. You might actually think, what time am I going? What time am I going to come? Why should I go? You know, all this is a plan. Marketing is also a plan like that. You have to first have the plan. I am going from Colombo to Jaffna, the plan. Now I am organizing myself. What time? What do I take? All that. Now I do the people matter of how many people are going, who are the people involved, you know, how do I organize them and then direct them, who is in charge of what. Hey, you are in charge of printing. You are in charge of this. Think that it's about the occasion of organizing a wedding. You are in charge of going to the hall with this person and that person, checking the hall. Inside the hall, you have to check this, check that, and go there and see these dates. If the date is available, here is the money. You pay the advance and come. And now you are waiting. Now the second person is being told, you are in charge of designing the wedding cards. Then the third person is said, what he designs, you have to go and give it to the printer and print it. Fourth person is saying, after you get it printed, you are in charge of going and giving it to all the relations. The fifth person says, if you can't give it to the relations who are far away, you have to post it, right? For some reason, what is controlling the last part? The first person has a delay. The first person was told, Monday you have to go and check the venue and see the dates. And you're not going to check one venue, no. You're going to go to at least 5 halls. So I'm going to give you by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to do this. Go to Hilton, go to Galadari, go to Shangri-La and check. This fellow, Monday, he got some other work, he didn't go. Tuesday, he got some other work, he didn't go. Wednesday, he totally forgot. Now, can the designing guy design the card and keep? I mean, he can design, but the card won't have the date. Can the printing guy have the printing done? No. Can the guy who is going to invite do his work? No. Can the guy who is posting the card do his work? No. Why? The first guy has not gone to the halls to do his work. So whole thing is buckled up. It's not going to happen. That's why we call it a management process. It's like a chain. My dear students, it's like a chain. If you are having all your marketing activities and your production is all off, your product is totally stupid and crap, your marketing is gone. Everything is good, your price is too high, problem. Your price is too low, problem. Don't think price high is always a problem. Price too low is also a problem, because people are not going to buy an iPhone at 10,000 rupees when they know the original real iPhone is about 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs. They are not going to buy. So price is something like that. Price is something basically like that, right? You are going to connect all these. Everything is good, but your staff don't know how to talk about the product to the customers. Everything is good, but you're not open on Saturday and Sundays. Everything is good, but you're not managing, you know, your advertising, you're not doing it properly. So it's a management process, because it's linked all together. How? It's linked all together. Like I take the example of Sunday Times. It's linked all together, like I take the example of Sunday Times. So what happens in the Sunday Times is very interesting. Sunday Times is one of our newspapers done by a private organization here. You know that a group has to type the papers. He has to do his job. Another group has to design the ads. Another group has to go and collect the ads. Another group has to go and do interviews. Another group has to write articles. Another group has to write poems. Another group has to write competition, quizzes. All this is what is making the paper a paper. If there are no quizzes, the paper looks boring. If there are no colors, good colors, the paper looks boring. If there are no ads, company won't earn revenue. If there are too many ads and nothing to read, people won't buy the paper. So there has to be a balance. After everything is done, the designer has to design this in a very beautiful way. The designer has to design this in a very beautiful way. After that, you go and give it to print. While giving it to print, if the printing paper is not enough, in our office we used to say, printing paper is not enough, the printer is not working, you know, something is wrong with the printer, there is no printing paper, or everything is there, there is no electricity, paper won't come. Paper won't come. After all that, you have to take all the paper, nicely fold it. There has to be someone who is going to take about 50 to 60,000 of papers and go and put it in the vehicles, the distribution vehicles. There has to be a guy who is going to drive and distribute this vehicle and go and put to shops. Now see the thing. Have you gone at 7:30 to the shop to buy papers, and the paper guy has said today papers didn't come? Ada pattara avina. He's saying today papers didn't come. We called and checked why the papers have not come. Seems like there is a power cut in the press. Seems like there is no power cut. The fellow has come. There is a tire puncture on the way, so we don't have the ways to get the paper. Do you hear these excuses? No, you don't hear these excuses. You don't hear these excuses. You don't hear it. It's managed. It's a managerial function which is managed together. So what is, my dear students, the definition of marketing? Marketing is a managerial process or a management process, managing all these activities, and in a way that I manage the link of whatever we can see. Can you look at this picture and tell me where is this place? Sorry, if you all are fasting, what to do? I have to take this example.
Subway, right?
This is Subway. What is special in Subway's way of doing their stuff compared to McDonald's and KFC? What is special? If anyone has gone to Subway, can you tell me?
Can
The food
customize
belongs
according,
submarine.
Can customize. What else? Yes,
can customize according to our preference.
exactly. Can we sequence of the order? When a person who does this in McDonald's, do I get a burger which was done already 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago? Or do they do me in front of my eyes? Yeah, they don't do a burger front of your eyes. They want to show the process. They want to ask you, how many olives do you want, sir? Do you want 1 olives or 2 olives? Do you want cucumbers, sir, or do you hate cucumbers? Sir, we have all these varieties of cheese. Those who are fasting, I know it might be a bit hard. Sorry about it, right? Do you love cheese, sir? Do you want 1 cheese or do you want a layer of cheese? Sir, if you want chicken, we have these 3 varieties. What do you want? After they take chicken and they put inside your submarine, you will say, miss, can you put another 2 scoops? I will pay extra. Can you put 2? How the process is working. The process I can see with my own eyes, and I can tailor make it the way I want. There are some people who get a McDonald's burger. There is a piece of tomato inside that. A person like me, I believe tomatoes has got good vitamins. Tomato is good. I love it. There are some people who don't like tomatoes. You know what do? They take the tomato and they throw it like that. In vain, no? Some people love salads. Some people don't like salads. So it comes like that. Here, you're going to tell the person, can you put salad? Can you put more salad? Don't put salad. Whatever you want, you can tell. So remember the definition of marketing. Marketing is a management process which has 3 activities: identifying, anticipating, satisfying consumer wants and needs for a profits better than competitors. I am still in part 1. I'm still in part 1. As I told you, this is what we got to put into our heads. Understand marketing, that it's a link. It's a link, guys. In this link, if something goes wrong, finish. Look at how this lady is doing everything, in an order for the consumers to see. Guys, this will go on till about 2:30 roughly. You can see that it's done wearing gloves to talk about the cleanliness. You can see that how much they are taking time actually to do this. Do you know that in Subway, this place has room for only like 4 or 5 people to actually help you out with? And sometimes in Subway, people don't mind waiting in a line, waiting in a queue actually to get this, because they love to see what you are doing. They don't complain, hey, I'm in a queue, can you do fast? I want to go home. I want to go soon. No, you can't have that. If you come to Subway, you should know that it will at least take you 5-10 minutes. If you go to McDonald's, please go to McDonald's. You might get your serving in 3 minutes. We are doing a burger or a submarine exactly for you, sir. We are doing it for you. We are allocating 5 to 10 minutes time exactly for you. You have to give your time also to us. That's the logic behind that. Now we look into identifying needs. Listen to this very carefully. For homework, I'm going to give questions. Those will be the notes which you are going to use. In Sri Lanka, we have the premier Uber version of Sri Lanka, which is PickMe, right? I'm going to talk about the concept of identified needs. How hard was it to identify needs in the beginning? How hard was it to identify what the consumer wants? How hard was it actually to do? So what happens is actually PickMe thought that it's a good idea to link the consumer and the tuk-tuk guys to actually go on together. And many people thought that won't happen because no, this is wrong. You know, like tuk-tuk guys are not going to use smartphones. Tuk-tuk guys are not tech savvy. Tuk-tuk guys are not, they can't understand English. The GPS, the GPS is in English. You got to look into the locations in English, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not going to happen. 2 or 3 investors dropped the idea. 2 or 3 investors dropped the idea saying that this is not going to work. Go on PickMe's YouTube channel and see how does Zafar is the one of the main co-founders of PickMe. How does Zafar explain the concept of PickMe, how he sold it for the investors? In 5 minutes, they convinced the investor that this is a good project. And at the moment, PickMe is doing quite really well. They have deliveries, they have that, they have these, you know, they basically have so much of stuff actually which is happening with PickMe. This is how marketing becomes a managerial process which identifies needs of people. I'm sharing with you an example of what a communication used to have. A communication used to have, you know, how to actually edit your photographs, and they will charge some money for that. Have you seen some people saying that, you know, they don't have business in their communication? But have you seen some people saying that come and meet us, we will do a nice photo for your Facebook and we will charge 1,000 rupees. 10 people come there, 10,000. Just imagine, for 1 week, 10 people will come there, 10,000. 4 weeks, 40,000. He has covered his rent. He has covered his rent just by giving a facility like this. That's how we identify needs. What is to anticipate needs? Anticipate needs. Marketing is a managerial process which has how many activities? 3 activities. First one is identifying needs. Second one is anticipating needs. What is anticipating needs? Expecting the needs to grow. First, one of the first cars in the world look like this. One of the first cars in the world look like this. After some time, people will say, I am tired of this. Can you give me a hood? Can you give me better lights? Can you give me better tires? Can you give me a safer design? This is only for 2 people to go. Very boring. Can 4 people go? No, can we do something like that? And you have to have the possibility of actually doing this to satisfy the consumer wants and needs. This is marketing, looking into what that person wants. What about the age-old mobile phones, from where it has come? From a very heavy device, which you can see here, the Motorola. From a very heavy device, which you can see here, the aerial took some time to get eliminated. People had a prestige with mobile phones which had an aerial. People had prestige. They said that if there is no aerial, it doesn't look like a phone. So it has to have an aerial. So the aerial was kept for some time, and then they said, no, now the aerial is also too big, too ugly. Can you please take the aerial off? And the aerial was actually taken off. Then the sizes became small because the consumer wanted it small. Then the sizes became broad, okay, because the consumer asked it broad. And you can see that the keyboard, full-fledged keyboard came in. Then everything became touch. Now, can you see that today's tabs and mobile phones are even taking this space? You can see that, you know, these keys, the back navigation key, the forward navigation key, all have now been incorporated within the screen. Earlier, the thumbprint was here. Now the thumbprint is within the screen. Right? It comes within the screen. That's the technology actually these people are basically using, even when it came into tabs and things like that. So this is what we say, that how the anticipation has to have. Marketing is something where you don't rest. Marketing is something where you don't rest. I don't rest myself and I don't say like, you know, this is enough and I'm done. It's always ongoing. People who run their own enterprises, people who run their own complexes know that if their job starts to wake up early morning, 5 o'clock, and go and do whatever they do, this is not happening one day a week. This is happening all 6 to 7 days a week. Can't help it. It's all happening. It happens all 6 to 7 days a week. That is basically something which I believe is ongoing. Just to say you in a funny way that how things have even changed in our clothing. Can you believe that this is how Superman used to look like? We all have watched Superman. This is how Superman used to look like. Later, because at one particular time this dressing was good, this hairstyle was good. At one particular time, what happens is he wanted people wanted Superman to be having muscles. People wanted Superman to have six packs. People want Superman to be a little more, modern, right? Stylish. So that's how things are basically changed. What about Batman? And in fact, Superman's underwear goes inside for the first time after this character. Batman, from here, Batman wears the old kit, and also with the old kit, you can see how boring it looks like, and you can see how he has changed. This is marketing. You can't always keep the same thing all over again. Incredible Hulk was actually a human before it became an animated character. I don't know whether you guys have seen this fellow. He used to be one of the main celebrities who promotes telecine marketing exercise equipments, right? There was 3 episodes. You can check it on YouTube. It's there. It's called The Incredible Hulk, and this is how it looks like. He looks big. He looks very unhealthy. Okay, and things like that. Okay, guys who know this might know it, but if you don't know, can you tell me what this is? What do you see on screen? Anyone? Fazlun, are you in? Can you see what this is? Fazlur Rahman? Imran Hussain?
I'm not sure. Maybe a hard disk or something in the computer.
A hard disk.
Storage.
Okay. You can see that he's wearing kind of a COVID-19 rescue kit. He's wearing kind of like a COVID-19 rescue kit, and he's working. Fazna, what do you see here? What do you think this is? Yeah, Fazna, Roshan, Shenali.
I'm not quite sure. It seems like, as you said, some kind of hardware equipment.
Hardware equipment. Okay, okay, right. This is a 1 MB hard drive. This is a 1 MB hard drive in 1970s or 1980s. You can see the size of it, 1 MB. What the hell can you put with 1 MB? Almost nothing. This is basically 1 MB hard drive, how it looked like. Yes, Roshan, it's 1 MB. Be unbelievable, right? This is 1 MB. This is the idea of marketing. You don't rest here. You give him 1 MB, he will say good, he will say not enough. You give him 1 GB, he will say good, he will say later not enough. You give him 1 TB, he will say this is very big, thank you. After a month or 2 months goes, he will say it's not enough. This is basically how it looks like in the past. We are familiar with this device. Most of our youngsters who have been using computers after the era of 2008, anyone who has used computers 2008, which means anyone who has born after year 2000, correct? Anyone who has born after year 2000, by 8 years, 9 years, you might have seen computers, right? Anyone who has born after that might hardly have used or touched this device. This is a floppy disk. Anyone remembers the memory of a floppy disk? How much of stuff can I put here? Anyone? 3.44 wrong. Naushad, wrong. 6 MB, wrong. Wrong. 2.3 MB, wrong. Less than that. 1, what? Fazlun, are you in with us? Can you answer what's the capacity of the floppy disk? 128 KB. 128 KB.
The 1.44 MB.
Yeah, it's 1.4 MB, Fazlun. It's more than 128 KB, Fazlun. I think, yeah. 1 KB, sorry, 1 MB is 1028 KBs, I believe. So it's something like that. So this is 1.4 MB. How big is 1.4 MB? 1.4 MB is where you can only put about 10 documents or 5 documents. How many songs do you think you can put here? 0 songs. How small is this? 0 songs. How often did we use this in office? We used this a lot. I used this a lot for my lectures. I always come with, a collection of floppy disks like this. I don't know what is in which floppy disk, so I name it, and it's a headache. After using it 5-6 times, it won't work also. Dust goes inside, viruses go inside. It's a big headache. Either the floppy disk is good, the floppy drive is not good inside the computers, but because it gets damaged very frequently. So this is another thing actually which is there. If you actually show this to some of the youngsters today, they will read it like this. In the I am getting old department, a kid saw this and said, "Oh, you have 3D printed the save icon." In MS Word, can you see the save icon? It's like this, right? Children will think that the save icon is now 3D printed with the floppy disk. They won't know that this was our pen drive those days. If you have any floppy disks, I believe I have about 1 or 2 things there. If you actually check that, you will understand that you will understand that keeping it is very important actually to show it to others. How about this particular thing? If you have these antiques, these are actually going to take you to preserve this in a great extent where you can sell it at a higher price. This type of phone, there is this model of phone in England which is 250 pounds. If you want to multiply it in Sri Lankan rupees, multiply it by 200 and see how much it is. This model of phone is there. The old model where you dial like this is 250 pounds. Sometimes we see the old models actually come back again. This is anticipation. This is anticipation. These typewriters and things like that. These type of cameras. These type of cameras as in anticipation. These type of VCRs. Okay. I remember I used to watch Titanic in 2 VCRs. In 2 cassettes. You have to watch Titanic. In the middle, you have to stop it because the cassette is over. You have to put another cassette. That's how we used to watch. Now we come into the third area. What's the third area? Identifying. Guys, we will stop in about another 15-20 minutes, right? That's it. I'll stop in 15 minutes. Last 5 minutes, we're going to discuss some questions. Satisfying consumer wants and needs is about the last aspect of what we do. So marketing is what? Marketing is a managerial process. How many activities does it have? It has 3 activities. Identifying, satisfying, anticipating, satisfying. What is identifying? To know what is his needs. What is anticipating? To expect his future needs will change. What is satisfying? Satisfying is where I deliver whatever I want. Like this. How do you satisfy the consumer? I've given you a very funny, awkward example of how a green tea advertisement looks like. But we all know that anyone who has tested green tea knows that you can't drink green tea like this. You can't drink green tea like this. This is how Mr. Bean drinks green tea, but in this episode, if you have watched it, you know that he's not drinking green tea according to the story of this incident. He mixes washing powder inside water and he drinks the washing powder. And this is the face he made when he drank washing powder. This is the face. I'll tell you, if you have drink green tea 100 times, green tea 100 times will give you this face. This is how your face is. But if you show like this, my dear students, will people buy green tea? If you show green tea is working like this, will people buy green tea? No, they won't buy green tea. But if you show green tea like this, okay, with this particular model and singer, the Indian Bollywood, I can't remember her name. She's drinking green tea, and the way she's closing her eyes and maybe smelling it, and she gets the heat and the smell, and and after she drinks it, she looks refreshed. She looks happy. That is where we are doing the third one, my dear students, satisfying customer wants and needs. So identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer wants and needs, right? This is an advertisement I shared on Facebook. It was launched for Valentine's Day. You can look into this. Shred means this, cutting it like this into pieces. Shred your ex. Bring in a photo of your ex, shred it, and receive a free tequila sunrise shot with any meal purchased. So this is valid in 2017 for this particular day. So if you have an ex, you can bring the photograph of the ex and have this offer. You are paying for the meal, they will give you this particular drink there. This is an advertisement which is self-explained in the Middle East, in Qatar, in Dubai, in UAE and the 7 states of UAE, in Saudi Arabia, in Oman, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Yemen. These are the type of ads you see, how they look into satisfying consumer wants and needs. In India, at one particular time, they wanted to show that, our burger is big, and our burger is unique, and our burger is handsome, and our burger is yummy. So they actually waited for a good opportunity to do that, and they called it the Bahubali burger. The Bahubali burger. If you watch the movie, it's a classic movie, Bahubali. If you watched it, just raise your hands. The movie took 5 years to shoot. Okay, 5 years. It broke quite a good record of box office. It was there in a lot of international news items and things like that. 5 years for a movie is crazy, right? A normal director takes 2 months for a movie. A low cost movie or an average movie signs 2 months. Two months is good, right? I mean, an actor can commit himself for a movie, and he can do other movies and things like that. If this 25 crores hero took, wow. If a director like Shankar takes about 1-2 years for a movie, he's crazy to the next level, right? Shankar, when one movie is going to be 1 or 2 months, Shankar, the most innovative director of the Indian cinema, Shankar, he takes 1-2 years to do a movie. Bahubali director went even crazier to the next level to do that movie for 5 years. 5 years the crew were together, shooting. The crew did not even take time to go to their houses and do their whatever the other activities they did. So if, let's say, someone from the crew has left his house to go to these shooting areas, he goes back to his house after 5 years. The 4-year-old kid who he saw is now 9 or 10 years. Kids are big now. Buildings have come. People have built houses. New neighbors have come. Neighbors who were there have gone. Things like this is now happening. In 5 years, it has changed. It took that long time. And after the director who did not plan it, the director planned one movie. After he did one movie, he saw the whole one movie is 5.5 hours. He said, okay, we will do part 1 and part 2, and he broke the parts. So that's just about the movie. Bahubali burger is how they used actually to make it a point to actually sell it like that. You would have seen this in Candy Road. This is a very nice restaurant and a cafe in Candy Road. Now just imagine that this is just not advertised, but rather an outlet like this, and if it's there, people won't even notice it. People will go passing this. But see, when they say Facebook, what I did was I was driving and I stopped. I did a U-turn and I again came and I again stopped and I took a photo, because it's Facebook. Hey, my goodness, it's Facebook. So I was kind of like excited to see this. This is in Sinhala. Those who understand Sinhala will understand. If not, I will just explain it to you. Navum palaturu bomu. Gedara aya paune. Yalatat kappekak arang yamu. So Do you think this guy knows marketing as in textbook marketing? No. This guy knows the practical marketing of what happens, the practical marketing. He knows that when a person is coming to drink a fruit juice, a nice cool orange juice, and he sees this board, why don't you take some orange juice home? Sin, right? Sin know these people, you know, take it to home. You can share some fresh juice with others. You might order 2 or 3 extra juices. That's called the next level of marketing. Another example, T Avenue, 10% saving on total bill value for every Lankan who exercise their right to vote. Offer is valid in Barnes Place and Marine Drive outlets only on the 10th of February 2008. Yes, we are open from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Do you remember that one particular time we all Sri Lankans made a very dumb decision to vote for Maithripala Sirisena? That was this time, I suppose this basically happened, you know. They said anyone who comes and proves and shows that you have voted, anyone who has come and proven that you have voted, then you are going to get 10% off of our meals. What am I teaching you here? The definition of marketing, which is marketing is a managerial process which has 3 activities: to identify, anticipate, and satisfy consumer wants and needs. Final example to go on with this slide is a biscuit called Faluda Mari. We all know that Mari can come in various forms. Why not make it a little pink? Give it a little pinkish feeling and add a little Faluda taste essence. And then what you do it is you sell it as Faluda Mari. Why? Because you are identifying a need to have this. You're anticipating the need that I have already varieties of biscuits, but all are not going to actually eat the same biscuit. You know, we can't eat same biscuits. We can't use the same shampoo all over again. We need different varieties of shampoo. I can't always be using this one model of phone. In 1 year, in 2 years, I might want something else. I might want something better. I can't wear the same shirt. I might want a different design. I might want something different, something better, something upgraded, or something new. And I want to tell people, I have tried something new. So if you've tried the Faluda Mari, you might take pictures. You might say, hey, this is good. I've tried this. It's lovely. So if you see another different funny flavor, you will say, and you will say that, you know, hey, this is good. It's lovely. And this is, sorry, my final, this was my final poster. I saw this very nice ad being circulated on Facebook. Okay. During party times and Christmas times and things like that. It had a nice picture called Drive for You. Are you drunk? Are you sleepy, tired, or unfit? Professional, responsible drivers are ready for you. Call this number. Professional, responsible drivers are ready for you. Call this number. There you go. So people found out that, wow, so, you know, I'll go to a party and I can call these people. They will go and drop me home. That's basically the idea of how it works for a cost. So you are going to identify, anticipate, and satisfy things like that. Right, guys? When we start classes next Wednesday, same time, I will be posting my link on the group. You can look into it. So classes are kind of over until I give my questions. I'm finishing with this slide. Marketing fundamentals with relationship marketing era is the next level which we are going to go with next week. I will have to start this separately to discuss some things with you. I will be starting it next Wednesday, same time. So keep in touch on the WhatsApp groups. I will share my posters on Facebook and on Instagram. If you feel anyone would benefit from these classes, please share it with them. And anyone who is doing this for a qualification, you better get all your stuff right so that this is going to be there. Anyone who has missed these lessons are going to be there on my YouTube channel, which is Intikab Zufa. You can go and check it there, or it will be in the AIC campus YouTube channel as well. So before we close off the day, open your books and write down these questions. Write down these questions. Okay. Number 1. Write the definition of marketing 5 times in your book. Write the definition of marketing 5 times in your book. Okay, without looking at anything, just write it once, again write it, again write it. You write it 5 times, you're not going to forget this. Number two, taking modern company examples, taking modern company examples, taking modern company examples, modern company examples, explain modern company examples, explain how do you identify a customer need. How do you identify a customer need? Explain how do you identify a customer need. Number two, what is anticipation and why is it important for a marketeer? What is anticipation and why is it important for a marketeer? Number two. Number three, why is it important to earn a profit in marketing? Why is it important to earn a profit in marketing? Why is it important to earn a profit in marketing? Number 4 or 5, next question. Explain the 4 marketing eras as production, sales, marketing and societal marketing. Explain the 4 marketing eras. That Henry Ford story, right? Explain the 4 marketing eras as production, sales, marketing and societal marketing. Production, sales, marketing and societal marketing. Production, sales, marketing and societal marketing. And societal marketing. And societal marketing. Next one. What are the issues with production and sales era? What are the issues with production and sales era? What are the issues with production and sales era? What are the issues with production and sales era? Last question, last 2 questions. A friend of yours has said, 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 that sales and marketing sales and marketing sales and marketing and advertising and marketing are the same. Advertising and marketing are the same. Advertising and marketing are the same. What is your comment on this? What is your comment on this? What is your comment on this? Next one. I know I said last one, but sorry. Next one. As you know, Coca-Cola is, as you know, Coca-Cola is, as you know, Coca-Cola is, a number one brand for the last 30 years, but not anymore. Number one brand for the last 30 years, but not anymore. Number one brand for the last 30 years, not anymore. Why do you think Coca-Cola has lost its place? Anyone else? It has lost its place, sorry, it lost its place, including Pepsi, who is almost getting kicked out, from the brand list. Getting kicked out from the brand list. Explain why. Explain why. So you got to explain why, explain why, you got to explain why Coca-Cola was number one for 30 years. You got to explain why it's not anymore number one. You got to explain why they are getting, going down really strong and things like that. Okay, another one more. Why do you think Google and Apple are at number 1 and 2 according to your marketing knowledge? Why do you think Google are number 1 and 2 according to your marketing knowledge? According to your marketing knowledge. Okay, guys, any questions? I'm done. Time is up. Anything you want to ask me, please ask. These slides you will be getting. I got to type. Wait 1 second. This is where you will find the link of the live which is going on now. So you can on YouTube. You can go on YouTube. YouTube. Check Intikab Zulfa or AIC campus. Okay, you can download it from there. You can check it. And any questions, please ask me. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? So next week when we meet up, we're going to discuss about relationship marketing, other types of marketing, how do we apply relationship marketing and other practical areas. As also I will need someone to read me the questions and discuss me the answers as well. I will be communicating on WhatsApp with you all about the link and the time. If you have any other people guys who want to learn this subject, just let us know and you can connect them with me. Thank you very much guys for your time. Adios amigos, keep in touch and I'll see you till next week. See you guys, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
See you, sir. Bye. Take care.
See you. Take care.
Sir, sorry. Can you repeat the second question, please?
Which question?
The second one.
Ah.
Modern company examples.
Okay, I think you'll have to go on the
My
video.
correct-
No, I think you'll have to go on the check and check it once I've done it, or check the live, because I was reading it top of my mind. I was
Okay,
reading. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
I'll
Okay.
check you on.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Take care.